really don't mind when people mess up. What I do mind is them not having a crack. Like when you get brought up on stage. Welcome to the stage is Tom Stanimeros. Oh fuck, I can't remember his name. I'm like that. At least say it wrong.
Okay, so you wanted to all come in.
Yeah. Go Tom Stanimeros.
Hang on, we'll add this in.
Fuckhead.
Welcome to Broken Home, the only podcast where being broke ain't all bad. Joining me this week, I am your host, Jeremy Webb, and joining me this week is... See, the problem is, I just want to go Tom Stanimeros, and that's not anywhere close, because I know it's Stan im... give me the spelling.
STAN.
Stam.
IM.
Im.
EROS.
Eros. So it's like Stanimeros.
No, it's an N before an M.
Stanimeros.
Yeah.
Stanimeros?
Yeah, Stanimeros. What did you say?
It's something like Stannis or Stavros or something. I don't fucking know. I'm like, just...
How does a V make it into the...
Well, the problem was more that I couldn't even remember how it was spelled, so I just went, it's an S, and then I'm just going to make Greek noises.
Yeah.
And just hope it comes out. It's like, maybe. It could have been like, because I had a mate who was teaching me how to say stuff in Chinese, because he's living in Taiwan, had to go see him, and he's like, yeah, just say everything quick so they don't hear your tone. I assume Greek would be the same. If you just... enough of that in between. Just bit of hush and just like sort of you can sort of just guess a sound by the way the Greek letters look.
Well, it's kind of interesting that like Greek is so strong. Like they've got their touristy spots, but Greek is still a very much alive language.
Yeah,
and it really doesn't need to be. Like it's the only people who speak it are Greeks.
Yeah.
See, French.
Isn't that the point?
You know, they went and colonized, and they have, you know, you got French Canada, you got people speak French across the world, and then you've also got.
It's more appealing than Greek, though, isn't it? Greek's one of those ones where it should just be like, you just get the food names now.
I don't know, because it's like Greek is more fun to say.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to call someone
or is
a
that just
wanker, you call them a malaka. That's fun to say.
They throw into
saying
it.
Fuck, they go ramoto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are fun things to say.
There's a passion to it.
But when it's like French, it's like, ugh, merde.
Yeah,
like, fuck off.
Maybe it's just also that Greek people are more fun than French people.
You're right.
Like, there's definitely, like, if they spoke the opposite language, like...
I don't have any reason to hate French people. I just do.
Yeah.
Just do. It's one of those racist things that you're born with.
Nah, for me, it's a class thing. It's always been that. It's like, no matter how poor or, like, rich a French person is, they always feel like they're looking down on me culture-wise.
Yeah.
Like, I never feel like I could be fancy enough or intelligent
and you
enough to...
No,
I couldn't.
You couldn't.
Especially not in, like, Paris.
You'd make eating frogs' legs look scummy.
Oh, yeah. Because you just go... It's so tempting with an Australian accent to throw into it in those moments.
Yeah,
Because you're sitting there and you'd be eating the frog legs. You'd look up at the waiter and go, fuck, these are good. And it's just like...
like slurping the frog leg that's hanging out of your mouth.
Like, oh, yeah. Like going over and, like, meeting Tiff's parents over in... Because, like, she's from Canada, but she's, like... parents are from Hong Kong, so we're eating a lot of, like... random Chinese buffet dishes and things, and just them giving me the dishes that are a bit odd, being like, "Oh, let's give the white guy the bit." I'm just fucking hooking into it, and it's just like, or the thing that really blew their mind, me just looking to go, "Nah, I'm good," and just bailing on a meal, like just because of like,
do you know Stella Wu?
So
do you know Stella Wu?
I think I know that.
Sydney comic. She took me and a couple of our friends out to a Chinese restaurant where where she just ordered loads of like just wild shit. Like we were eating like chicken hearts and all sorts of crap. Like
the stuff where you just
like
go,
the asshole of a fucking donkey or something, and you're like, oh, that tastes like shit. And she goes, it normally, if they do it right, it shouldn't taste like shit. And I was like, you shouldn't have to do it right.
Most food is that, to be honest. Like, it shouldn't get to the point of being literal shit, but, you know.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. If those things all taste fine, it really makes you feel bad in the West of, like, man, we waste a fuckload of that chicken. Like, you know what I mean? Just, like, bits and pieces where we're just like, yeah, I'd turf that. If it doesn't quite look pink enough, it's gone.
Well, we waste it for ourselves, but on farms, the dog gets to eat it.
Shouldn't give dogs uncooked bones.
Really?
Yeah. Because, well, one, it's a digestive thing, but it's like even cooked bones, they'll splinter and stuff in the dog's stomach.
Right.
And then when they're going through the intestines,
because I've
it causes...
lost so many dogs.
And close
and
your
now
gate,
you
man.
tell me.
Oh, but my partner does all this stuff because, like, she's a vet, right? So I get... Oh, there's so many things that I've learned that will kill my dog.
Yeah.
That used to just be not a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
fucking grapes will just drop that shit, apparently. And I'm
really?
like, oh, cool. There's a lot of staffies I've got that are fucking resilient then.
Yeah. That's
it's weird to hear, like, oh, it's this tiny bit of chocolate will, like, kill a dog. But it's like, I've fed... Like, we've had staffies all our lives. It's like, I've fed those dogs bricks. Like, just for fun. You throw a brick and they just bring it back, but there's less brick, you know?
You're right. You're right.
Have you ever, like, do you have staffies, like, particularly stupid dogs or anything growing up? Where did you grow up specifically?
So I grew up in I was born in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in
Did
Melbourne.
you the dash in, dash out style?
Yeah. I kind of like got to 4 years old and was like, I think I'm ready for a change.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's not your white parents taking you back to the Mecca of white people.
My dad's
England is where the white people
thank you very much.
Yeah. The oily ones. Slipped out to the sides.
So I decided to pack up my things and leave at 4. And I grew up in a town called
Mum
Cheltenham.
came with us. She was bored.
She had nothing else to do.
Yeah. Clingy.
But yeah, that was mine and Dad's idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so
in your private conference.
I grew up in a little town.
In your sub chat that you've got with just your dad.
What?
You got a family group chat, but then you got another one that's just dad. Like, never mind. So yeah, where'd you grow up there? Keep up, man.
Can you?
I'm gonna keep bouncing around like you wouldn't believe.
A place called Cheltenham. It's like a horse racing town. It's got a couple of like festivals, literature festival, science festival.
See, when you said
Kind of what we're
festivals,
known
they weren't
for.
the ones I was jumping at.
No, you'd normally think music
Maybe
festival,
jazz
or you
or-
think like comedy. Yeah, we have a jazz festival. We do
Oh,
have a
okay.
jazz
I'll give you
festival.
jazz. Only because there was one in like the town next to the one I grew up in.
Literature is
so
a
I'm like,
big thing, though. Literature festival.
not round my way, champ.
You're right. I'm actually surprised we're doing your podcast inside.
Ah, come on. It's technically outside. We're in a garage.
Give me some credit.
Yeah. Give me some credit for my roots. So how big is it then? Like a couple of thousand, or is it one of those ones where it's like basically a suburb? Because also my school didn't have geography lessons, so I'm also going to need to know where it is.
So, do you know where Bristol is?
Vaguely, yeah.
Have you been to the UK?
Nah.
Oh, you haven't. Okay.
I've left the country twice.
Where have you been?
Vietnam
Doesn't
and doesn't count.
No.
All right. Come on, Bali wouldn't count. Vietnam's all right.
No.
Where else are you gonna like?
All of Asia doesn't count.
What about Taiwan?
No.
Taiwan counts.
No.
Everything's the same expensive.
China doesn't count.
You're right. This is going on the internet. China doesn't count. Man, the number of times, because I got my mate who lives in Taiwan, and the number of times I've joked with him, I'm like, man, how good would it be to get a Taiwan #1 tramp stamp? Like, I'm very tempted. It's the dumbest thing you could possibly get. It's the worst spot. It'd look terrible. You're pissing off the Chinese, which is a terrible idea going forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, fuck, that's a hilariously bad idea.
Are you scared of the Chinese?
Not individually.
Oh, okay.
Like, you meet a Chinese guy, I'm like, yeah, he's fine. Whoa. How'd you get down there? But no, they're all right.
Okay.
Until, like, it's fine. I'll just marry Tiff. She's
Yeah.
get my, I don't know, yellow card?
Anyway.
I'll bleep that so no one's quite sure what I say.
Hey, look, man, it's your podcast. You know your audience better than I do.
Yeah, I know Dave.
So what is the podcast? What is
So basically this came about because the thing that I seem to get the most passionate about is talking about fun shit I used to get up to and still get up to when I'm just broke as hell that you sort of don't get the opportunity to do when you're wealthy and have to look after your image in society.
Yeah.
Because like the first example would like, this is always one I like to check with people as well. Have you ever been to the Tip with your dad?
Yeah.
and just had a fucking great time.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
rummaging through shit.
Every
So that's
Saturday.
always my like guiding line.
Okay.
On like either side of that. It's like, yeah, if you've been to because can you picture some fucking private school twat?
I don't know if you're calling me a twat.
No, I was
Twat.
no. It was more to appease your accent.
My
It was like
Englishness.
twat, as you'd say.
Is that not a Aussie word?
Not particularly, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I think it's one of those ones where, because we're just sort of culturally between the UK and America, we just kind of steal from both.
Yeah.
And then plus whoever immigrates
Make up
here.
your own in the middle. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we just sort of know the slang from both and then make our weird middle ground, which isn't as good as either.
Yeah. It's funny that you guys do draw from America, considering how like few Americans come over here.
I think that's sort of the thing, though, because they have all the movies, all the TV shows, like all the media that you take
You're
in
influenced by the culture of
whereas
their media.
even then, it's like getting a British sitcom or something here. Like there was a big era there where we copped a good bunch of them, and then not much more in terms of like stand up and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like I had to download all the panel shows that I knew about.
Right. Okay.
Because there was like a couple on, you might get an episode of QI every now and again. But if I wanted like Mock the Week or, any of those other Would I Lie to You, any of those like British panel shows or any of the sitcoms as well. Like Black Books was big on the pirate list back in the day. Don't know Black Books?
No. I know Mock the Week.
Black Books is a sitcom with Bill Bailey and Dylan Moran.
No. I do know Dylan Moran, but I didn't know
Worth
him.
checking out, because now that I realise it was already a thing where...
You know, I met Dylan Moran
Did you now?
before I got into comedy.
Oh.
He was at a... I went to it was the Sydney Comedy Festival.
Mm-hmm. Which made me going now, I think.
Which I think is going on now. So it was about 2 years ago. And
You walked into an alley. He said, "Come here, boy. I've got some candy." You were molested by Dylan.
I went to I went.
If you're going to leave dead air, I'll fill it in with the story myself, man.
So I go to this open mic. Not an open mic. It's a lineup show. I go to this lineup show.
Yep.
And at the end of the show, they go, "Oh, we've got a special drop in."
Mm-hmm.
It's Dylan Moran. Dylan Moran gets up.
Yep.
And he's okay. He's fine. And it was so small.
He's no
they were literally
he's no Tom Stanimeros.
You'll nail that punchline when you get my name right.
No, the point of the punchline is to get your name wrong, you fucking idiot.
Fuck you. I love it here.
Tom Stanimeros. That's a Greek name, I know.
I go up to Dylan Moran at the bar. I go, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Punk. Walking in on my turf.
"What are you doing?"
Excuse me, did you just steal my drop-in thunder?
And he said, "I've got a show here in Sydney, and I just bombed for an hour in front of a
Then he
packed
came
crowd."
here and sort of mildly bombed as well.
And then he was like, "I came here to try and get a good
and
cheer myself up by doing a good set." I was like, "Damn."
Well,
Even someone who's been doing it as long as you can eat shit, so I don't know why I'm not doing it. And then I got into comedy.
Oh, that's fair. Like, just literally watching someone good bomb. Is,
He didn't bomb, but he told me he bombed at the last place.
Yeah, he was just saying that to make you feel good.
Yeah, he didn't know I wanted to.
But it is honestly that.
But he ordered himself 2 drinks. He was with no one.
Yep, that's fair. That's a bad gig.
Legend.
We've been there.
Legend. Have you done that before? You've finished a bad gig and just drunk yourself silly?
I did, but not at the venue where I was doing the gig. I've probably told this story before. I was doing the Exford.
Again, Dylan Moran wasn't at the venue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course. Yeah, he moved to the lineup show where he can be the drop-in.
Yes.
Not the guy who just fucking ate it.
In front of a paying crowd.
Yeah. Especially because when he says a packed crowd, it's like, that's way bigger than I'm getting.
That's,
as
yeah,
a
yeah.
Like my
that's
packed crowd, his
theatre.
packed crowd, you're like, oh, man, that's so much not laughter.
Yeah, my 10 in Richmond versus his.
Well, I had ages
fucking
for
theatre.
a mate of mine who would get, like, that's how he got into it as well, was just going one year. He was like, I'm going to do it next year. So this year at the festival, I'm going to go to the worst shows I can find to make me feel like now I'd feel bad not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen they're just like, he's putting on this. And
Yeah.
it's like, that was his motivation. And I'm like,
Really? Did
yeah.
he do it?
yeah, he's pretty good
What did
now.
you get out of it?
He's doing pretty well.
Who is it?
Nah, I don't
You're
mention
not allowed to tell me?
Nah, not here.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. Not here.
Yeah, not in the shed. I'll not speak his name in the shed.
No, fair enough. But this friend of yours went around and they
Yeah, and that's
watched
just
the worst comedy. they
Yeah,
could
and
find.
that was the way to like get motivated. Is like, you
Dude,
know,
just
being
go to any
apprehensive
open
about
mic.
it and like, oh, you know, I don't know. But an open mic's different. Going down and signing up for 5 minutes is one thing. Paying the fees, like doing the rego and everything, getting in the guide, and putting.
So
some
he was a
crap-
a comedian before he was just trying
Yeah.
to work out doing a show.
Yeah, and it was like that apprehension of like, oh, is it like I don't think it's going to be good enough, and this, that, and the other. I don't think it's ready for me to do a show, and then just going around seeing some shows people are putting on and just going,
I see.
I'm fine. I'll
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's a lot of crap, and we've just finished the comedy festival.
Yep, plenty of crap around.
Yeah, plenty of
I
crap.
don't think I saw anything shit this year. I mean, you know, you always get a couple in a lineup show that are going to be a bit of a pull on the collar, but you know, but yeah, I think I only caught good shows on purpose this year. What did you?
You're
manage-
right. I don't think I saw anything bad.
We need to do more hate watching.
I think I need to see more shows.
I need to chase up this mate of mine. Let's go. What's good?
But I got stuck at because I was running Goffs as the venue.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got stuck in Richmond.
Well, I thought you were just running a
4
lineup
days a
show. I
week.
didn't realize you were running the whole venue till I turned up.
Yeah. So me and Steve were running the venue,
Mm.
and so we had our own lineup shows at the venue, but we also had
Yep.
other people come and do their show there.
Mm-hmm. It was a good spot, and you were getting numbers.
Yeah.
Like it's the kind of spot where I'm like, fuck, if I'm doing it next year and you're running it again, I'd put in to get that venue.
Yeah, thanks. We're happy with it, and
Mm.
you know it's a little bit out of the way, so it's a little bit harder to kind of convince people.
But it's still filling. Like the couple of
Yeah,
nights I was there was minimum half full. So
Yeah.
what was that like? What was the capacity of the place?
I'd say 45, 50.
Yeah. So like smallest I saw was like 20, 25. And it's like that's more than most people are getting to
Yeah,
places that
yeah.
are just like even a tram ride up a bit if you're going like north.
Yeah,
People
know,
just
you're
aren't as keen to go that
absolutely
way.
right, and we've kind of got our own little access to.
And
to
you've
our
got
own
like
audience.
there's the big pubs and everything that are there, so there is walking traffic
Yeah,
around and everything. So it's people see it, people come around. So it was like, yeah, it's just weird that like the door that is the front door of the building just kind of locks when the show's going on.
yeah.
It kind of goes a bit like because there's no like, oh, you come in and there's a bit of space and then the show's there.
So what we were doing,
this weird
I don't know if
fucking
you were
panic
there for
room
that,
setup.
but we had we were taking people around the back,
Mhm.
and there was a back bar, and people were sat in the back bar,
Yeah.
and they'd wait for their show, and then when the show finishes,
Mhm.
we ferry people out the front, and we bring people from the back bar around to the main room. So there was like a clockwise system. You go in through the back. You
Don't
have
remember
a
a
drink at
back
the back.
bar.
Yeah. So by the
I
time
remember the
you
weird
came
cuck
to
chair in the
visit-
bathrooms.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No.
You go in, there's like the door for the toilets that you open and then goes down that corridor where the actual toilets are. But as you go in on the left, there's just like a hotel cuck chair.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, who's just like, oh, I better take my gal to the bathroom and then just like let her go and then wait patiently in the chair like just in the fucking change room. it really just looked like they just had a space.
There's no other explanation for that chair.
It's like, because it's just this little like dint into the room. So it's like, it's either table or chair that you're going to put in there.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it kind of had to be No, it
But
still
yeah,
should
so
just be
it
a
was-
fucking table. Like,
It was a one-way system.
Yeah.
And then we got rid of the back bar because I think it was just more effort than it was worth.
oh, right. So you just had like, because when I was in there, it was the full room. So like,
so
did you have, that split
you
in two?
came in
kind
through
of
the
thing?
front?
Yeah.
Yeah. So previously people coming in
Yeah,
through
man,
the
I'm
back.
coming in through backstage. You know? That's
Anyway.
technically correct.
So I was there like 4 days a week.
Mm.
And I just didn't catch enough shows, man. There's no
Well,
other
that's the
way
thing,
I
it
could
is
have,
far
there's
enough
no
to
other
get
way I
that-
could have played it, but
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, you get that foot traffic in terms of getting people into your shows, but then it's like, getting back in. It's not like there's another venue next door
Hmm.
where you can see, if they've got 4 shows on, you can just grab those.
I'm out of the way.
Yeah, so it's like you catch all the shows at your venue, and then it's like, what, going in your day off for more comedy? It's like...
Yeah, so I did that a couple of times, but really not very much. And also Wednesday to Saturday, those are your hot days.
Yeah.
To be catching any shows.
Well, and then it's like Mondays, most people aren't doing theirs. And then Tuesday's cheapo Tuesdays, so that
I did
also
catch
sells
some good
out pretty good.
Tuesday shows, to be fair. But yeah, no. I think in the future I'd like to see myself kind of not having to run a fucking venue.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword there, because it's like, there's a lot of advantages to it, but the worst one is just, not being involved in the festival outside of your own venue.
Yeah.
Because out of the mates, running venues, and it's like, you want to come hang out? They're like, no. I need to be here still.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man, I'll come back maybe when you're done.
Yeah.
And then you get there, it's like, I'm fucked. I'm just going to crash out. It's like, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Completely fair, to be
But it's
honest.
interesting. There's different ways you can play a festival. But yeah, so I'm from Cheltenham. We have festivals, not a comedy festival. We just did this festival. It was okay. I wish I caught more shows. My dad used to take me to the tip.
Yep.
Just recapping where we're at.
Yeah. But you said, like, because you were telling the festivals to tell you more about the actual town, because I was asking how big it is. And, like...
Yes, so it's a sweet town.
Mm-hmm. Is it like...
It's very middle class. It's why I sound like this, to be honest.
Yeah,
There's a lot of...
I was a bit hesitant getting you on. I'm like, maybe. But then I got your tip.
Yeah,
I got your tip status, and I'm like, all right, he's in.
My dad grew up in Oakley.
Again,
He
geography
was
terrible.
Second gen
Mm-hmm.
Australian.
Yep. Oh, right, Oakley here.
He grew up.
Yeah,
He grew up. Wait, what?
I'm like, no, I don't know that one in England. And I'm like, right, yeah. The one here.
No.
Gotcha.
The one here in Australia. Dad's Aussie. He's got a G'day accent, and he grew up speaking Greek. And then
I've only heard it the other way, where it's like, I hear Greek people speaking like English with a sort of touch of Australian accent there.
Yeah.
But it's very much coming from the Greek end. So what is it when it's like the Australian accent with a touch of like... I don't know what a Greek sounds like in an Australian accent. You know what I mean?
Well, neither. Neither do I.
He just drops fully into the accent when he speaks Greek?
He grew up speaking Greek, but obviously he learned to speak English because he went to school here.
Right. So it is still the same way that I'm used to hearing. I should tell you this. This is the most Greek thing I've ever been involved in. We bought a Rottweiler when we were kids from Con, who was the Greek man who ran the fish and chip shop. And we called it Zeus because his dog was called Hercules. Like,
did you know my middle name is Hercules?
See, I'd make fun of you, but that's actually sick.
My
middle name's Erden. Like, who gives a fuck?
Erden.
But it's spelt weird with umlauts and shit. It's like no one wants to know a Hungarian name.
You're Hungarian.
Granddad
you're
was.
Completely right. I give no shits about anybody who's Hungarian.
Ooh, UK too. Man, how old are you in this fucking picture?
14.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
You look like fucking Justin Bieber.
Over 12 years ago.
And you're welcome for that comment, by the way. Fucking Hercules, there he is.
So my brother's name's
Stanimeros.
Stanimeros.
I reckon I can keep that for later. Stanimeros. You wait till I try to bring you up on stage next and it's just fucking gone.
Yeah, well.
Welcome, Tom Zimbabwe.
As long as you give it a crack, I'm fine.
All right, I'll do it. Get to the end of the name.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to say, who gives a shit anyway?
I don't think I've said who gives a shit anyway.
Stanny, who gives a shit?
To be fair, I don't think I've ever gone that angle. I've always made sure it looks like I'm a fucking idiot because I can't say foreign people's names.
Yeah.
To my credit.
Because you hate foreign people.
Yeah, but... Well, not hate them. I find them amusing. Like zoo animals.
I think it is interesting on the side of the accent.
Mm-hmm.
Is like I always get shit for my accent.
Yeah.
Like for being like a well-off cunt. And
yeah. Or is it?
It's
like,
more
do people do it to you, or is it more that they make fun of that accent? Like,
I think my accent comes with some assumptions.
Absolutely. Like
I'm not saying I was like We were peasants.
No. I just mean more like, because like with the name Jeremy, I often find like, particularly with comedy or whatever, are we watching something and people use that as a name in like an act out for a rich person. You know what I mean? So you'll be talking about the wealthy rich, like, oh, Jeremy, and it's like used as it's used as that. I feel like your accent is used for the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like as soon as someone is making fun and saying like a posh, they'll say my name in your accent.
Yeah.
And that's a posh fuckwit and a punchline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's an English accent. I'm well spoken. But you know who was more keen on me speaking good English and not dropping my T's was my dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was like, I want you to get a job. I want you to get a job.
You got to say your T's, otherwise.
We're Greek. We've had it hard.
Oh, that's the angle he's going.
Yeah, that's the angle. It's like,
we're Greek. We get bailed out by the Germans.
I want you to have your own job. And I
want you to work 4 hours
like
a day.
Proper man.
Like your dad. 2 hours break in the middle.
Because, well, the thing is, like, the school I went to, like, kids were talking like this in it.
Yeah. Just that.
Dad, like, lay off, Dad.
Yeah. Just that weird sort of
And he was like, stop sounding like a fucking chav.
Chav. I do love some British insults and, like, words that kick around where you just like...
Yeah.
I'm just like... It's weird to say it like this, but you're like, that's a made-up word. You know?
What, chav?
Well, all of them. Like, every word's a made-up word if we're looking at it, but it's like, I hear chav and I'm like... I feel like I know who that is, but I have no idea on, like, where the words come from.
Full tracksuit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you can identify the look, but I'm like, why is it a chav?
Yeah.
And they go, because that's a chav, isn't it? And you're like, you can't use the example to explain.
I can tell you where the word comes from.
Good. This is exactly what I need.
It comes from my hometown.
Oh.
And there's the Cheltenham Ladies College, which is like a boarding school.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a set for a porn.
For rich kids.
Like they're about to do like some porn fucking thing.
The
That'd
Cheltenham
be
Ladies College.
Yeah, 100%.
Drops your panty low.
Yeah, exactly. And the teachers are doing like weird spanking classes and things from all the videos I've seen. You know, it's a wonderful image.
And the boys would try and, like
advance upon said
the
ladies' college.
local scum.
Oh, see, I thought because you were describing the area, I thought you were saying the school was equally scummy.
No,
but it had the fancy girls' college name.
No.
This is actually
this is a fancy international
fenced off
college. It's fenced off. It's a big brick building in the middle of town.
Yep.
Very
Heritage
nice.
listed.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a very nice school, and the local scum, the boys
like
would
getting into fucking one of those
and date
safaris. It's like they bust the girls in a cage, and the fucking weird chimp blokes on the outside. Oi, you're right. Just fucking hanging off the outside.
So the scum will be hanging off the cages as they file these poor international students in.
They're biting the bars.
The scum, the boys would be scum, and they would call them Cheltenham Average. So, are you going on a date with a Cheltenham Average?
Right.
And then the word chav was born.
Interesting.
And that went nationwide. And not everybody knows that.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, people in England.
Oh, really? Because it's like...
Yeah,
that's
from
very
my
specific.
random town.
Yeah. And it's just sort of the thing that is like, yeah, that's the chunk. Because normally, anytime I've had something like that from my town, people are like, no one says that.
Yeah.
You and 4 of your mates know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, we used to call KFC Barn. Like BARN, because it was just... But then it became KF Barn. It just makes no fucking sense. But then you go...
I think it does.
Yeah, but then I go up to like some random, I'm like, I'm just going to go grab some Barn. And they're like, what? They think I mean like bar me or something, and I just can't talk.
Yeah.
But it's just like, nah, Barn, KFC. They're like, no.
Yeah.
That's not correct.
No. My friends, we call it K-Fees, but I think that's obviously... I think
that makes more sense.
Anyone can jump on that.
Yeah.
I do prefer Barn.
Barn's good.
Barn's great.
I love grabbing some Barn. Go grab a zinger box down at Barn. Swinging down a Barn to grab 3 wicked wings is a fucking great time. You know what I mean?
It. I'm going to start
It's like our other one that we used to have was Basher.
Basher?
Basher for deodorant. So like can of deodorant, like Lynx or anything like that.
Why
That's
Basher?
a can of Basher. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
That's one of those ones where it's just like people said it, so that's what I knew the word meant.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, you got any batter? And just like in the changing rooms or whatever, and someone just throws a tin across the room.
Yeah. I used to love the changing rooms.
Interesting comment.
So I was homeschooled.
So you just needed any interaction with somebody who wasn't your dad in a bathroom.
When I first actually went to school, the changing rooms was a weird fucking place.
To be honest, they're not unweird the rest of the time. Mostly because there's like one or two kids making it way weirder than it needs to be.
Okay, by doing what?
Well, one of our examples, we had a dude called Stomp. He was just a big,
Don't even need to describe him.
No, but
his name tells you everything.
Yeah, exactly. But what was better was he had a brother named Slim. And the reason he was called Slim and then Stomp, like Slim was older, but the reason he was called Stomp is Slim had like a weird leg. So they're like, yeah, he's slim, but his brother can actually stomp around, so he's called Stomp. Like Slim came first.
Okay, like, why was Stomp weird?
Well, he was just a big, fucking loud, dumb cunt who could beat you up at any time. So you just sort of had to put up with whatever he was doing. But he also, unfortunately, had a big dick.
Okay.
So he'd just be there, like, holding a towel up and just, like, slapping it against, like, his leg and stomach. So you can't see it. But he's just doing shit like that. Just, like, constantly half naked.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. But, like, you're entirely right. Like, it's a weird environment. Yeah. But especially for someone who didn't
have it earlier.
Yeah, like I walked in late.
Yeah. Because like, how old were you at that stage? Like when you switched into actual school?
I joined school in year 5.
So you'd be 10, 11-ish.
Yeah, that sort of age. That's quite late.
It's quite late, but like if you had been 13 and you've never been in a changing room before and you go in there with like pubescent boys, that would have been fucking traumatizing.
Yeah.
Just like straight into the boiling pot, you know? You haven't even had a chance to like frog death your way up.
What I used to do is I used to change, for the first like 2 years, I used to change in the bathroom.
Yeah, like the toilet cubicle.
Yeah, the toilet cubicle.
Yeah.
I just thought it was too weird. I'd often drop my shorts in the toilet, and so I'd do PE with wet shorts.
How the fuck are you dropping your shorts into the...
It was a small cubicle.
I don't care. There's what?
There was no lid.
Okay, you know how you take your pants off when you go to take a shit? And you manage to just sit down and take them off without dropping them in anything? Have you ever considered doing that?
Yeah, no, but
so you don't drop your fucking shorts? Yeah, but you'd shit more times than you'd changed in a fucking cubicle, haven't you?
Okay, so... Yeah,
unless you're now going to tell me that.
But when I went to secondary school, I was like, okay, I think it's time to man up. I think it's time to start getting changed in front of...
Yep, I'm going to get hard. I'm going to intimidate these blokes. And fight fire with fire.
So I was in year 7, and I was like, it's time to start changing in front of my friends. Which is a weird thing.
It's time to come out as a man who can be naked.
I don't mind being naked in front of you guys. I just want you to know. And I did it wrong.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
I took off my...
Pants first. You were Winnie the Pooh around the place.
No, worse. I took off all of my clothes.
Yep.
Before putting on my PE kit.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone was like, that's weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you go the other way, you get it. Like, if you're coming in from PE, you take off all the clothes because you swear, like, maybe you've had a shower.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't, like, in people's minds, they can go, yeah, naked afterwards, maybe showered, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, that's like pulling your pants all the way down to take a piss at the urinal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But no one said anything for a while. And then eventually, like, the guy I normally get changed next to turned around and was like, I hate getting changed next to you. I was like, oh, why? He was like, because you take all of your clothes off first.
Yeah. But to be honest, like, that's a weird spot for him to be in terms of how he handled it. Because, like, you'd either say it straight away, like a bullying piece of shit.
He just let it happen.
Like, if you just go still, and it's like, I guarantee you at my school, you doing that, someone's just going to go, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're getting called out immediately.
Yeah.
Or it becomes a situation where you'll just sort of, like, slap each other a little bit to the side and just think, look at this fucking... This cunt just fully naked before he's getting dressed.
Yeah.
And then we'd let you keep doing it forever. because it's too funny to not just let this keep happening.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it was funny until it wasn't for this poor bloke. That's
because that's the thing. Once it's that style of joke, actually, that's probably 100% what happened.
Yeah.
He was the one copping the shit for it.
Yeah.
Because they're all having fun not telling you.
But also, I didn't mind because I was the one getting changed like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was ignorantly bliss. I was embarrassed when he told me because I was like, oh, yeah, no, that does make sense, doesn't it?
That's the worst bit where it's like you can't even push back against it. Like, nah, man, it's not weird. It's like, but it is.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I've been prompted to take this one step back from the situation.
See, now you're saying it, I've just realized no one else is doing it like I am. It's like I've gone from like two extremes. I've gone from I'm the kid hiding in the cubicle changing
to just fully
naked.
I've had my sexual awakening, boys.
Yeah. Never always fully naked though. Were they naked in your
Stomp was.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Because if he was making that noise and still dressed,
I was in my undies, but I never needed to get my dick out.
When we do swimming, like when we do school swimming was down at the pool, but I'd always do like a weird like wrap the towel around and like pin the corners in my mouth.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
Yeah.
it's not like a wrap around the waist where I got a bit of like a tent.
Is that what's going on here? You've got
Yeah. This is the hide when I'm naked.
This is you don't even have like a handlebar mustache. Your towel.
Yeah, this is a towel. You know, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You got to always have a towel. I've just attached mine to my bottom lip, top lip, bottom lip. That'd be a weird look that no one I think's rolled with. The upside down mustache.
Crocodile clips. You can hook your crocodile clips to the bottom of your mustache and attach the end of the towel.
I was putting beads in this for a while because it can hold up like little Viking style beads.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I originally was looking at it and I'm like, how the fuck
I wish I could grow facial hair so bad. I just want to be
get
able to
something going.
I wish I could grow facial hair.
What do you get
before I
going?
go bald? A little bit of like I can get a decent amount of facial hair where I can grow it. But then
that's what I mean. What's your pattern?
Scraggly.
Yeah.
Like Greek and scraggly and ginger.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bad one to find out.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you don't notice until it's probably like an
it's
inch or two.
It's crazy because I was really insecure not having facial hair.
Yep.
So I had it for a while.
Yeah, you're growing it in,
and then a week of getting rid of it, I got a girlfriend.
Well, let's just say I didn't have this when I got my missus. And I had to wait until she wasn't going anywhere.
I need to wait until she needed a visa.
Well, actually, she's a full citizen now, so I'm like, fucking best behavior. This house has been spotless for weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of that. I used to get changed weirdly.
Yeah, that's it. Well, if this fancy college is there, like, how big is the town population was?
Should I look it up?
I mean, I thought you'd have a rough idea.
How big is the population of Cheltenham, England?
Do you use voice assist or you go chat GPT?
No, Siri. 116,000.
Oh, damn. So pretty hefty.
Is it hefty? I don't really know.
Well, the problem is like, my town is like 9,000 people. And so that's what I always sort of gauge off. So as soon as you go 100,000, I'm like, fucking hell.
9,000?
Yeah. It all makes sense now, doesn't it?
There are several major schools where I grew up.
Oh, we had like
we
four
had
primary
2,000
schools.
people in my school.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have come close to that. We would have had like three classes of like 30 per year. It's like 90 students. So yeah, probably, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, probably like 700, 800.
Really?
But we were the small school.
There were like 300 people in my year.
How many classes is that? Like, fucking, what were you divvied down into? Where do you all fit?
Yeah, now I'm saying it out loud. It is a bit strange. So we had a house system. So at the start of the day,
so do we. We pay rent and we get to live here.
No, I mean like house like divided into classes.
Yeah, like Schoolhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
Harry Potter makes sense now. They
And
actually
then,
do that.
So there are 4 different...
Mm-hmm. Gryffindor, Slytherin. Yeah, I've seen the whole thing. I know you guys' history.
Do you not have that here?
We had it in primary school.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we did, but it also just doesn't mean anything in our... Like, when you've only got 90 people, it's like, who cares what fucking house you're in? It's just a way to...
Really?
Well, it's just a way to divvy people
Ours
up on,
was
like,
a
school
class
sports
system.
day. Oh. Like, straight up?
It was...
Like, rich cunts in one house.
No,
and then it works its way down?
It was more kind of like...
Like, actual classes you go to. Like, the students in your class kind of thing.
No. It was like, well, because then you'd compete in, like, house rounders or house cricket.
Rounders?
Do you not have rounders in this
I know the
country?
word, but I'm, like, clutching it, whatever the fuck it actually is.
It's like a fun version of cricket.
So that's what I thought. I'm like, I think there's a smaller bat or something.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
It's like, although it's like, I kind of have mixed feelings about those weird half sports. It's like kickball instead of playing like baseball or something. You know, where they're like, oh, we're going to make it, or T-ball. Like, rounders seems like one of those like sub sports of a thing.
Absolutely
it's like,
is, but it's also
they're
more
very
fun.
hit and miss.
Yeah.
Because people go on about pickleball.
I'm not going to the top of the, I'm not going to become a household name by playing rounders.
No, it's a fun fuck around.
Yeah.
But
you're also not going to become a household name by playing ping pong. Unless you're Forrest Gump.
Damn it, you got the fucking... I actually almost...
After a certain amount of time, you do become predictable.
See, the problem is my brain hit Trump before it hit Gump. And so I got stuck on the no.
Forrest Trump.
Yeah, I was there. I'm just like, no, that's not... And then I had to keep
Forrest
going.
Trump's a funny concept.
Yeah, if I could do any... if I could do any voice or accent work, it'd be great to throw into that character.
Yeah.
Well, the saddest bit is when you look at that, it's like it kind of just is as is.
Yeah.
He's had his own TV show. He's got his name on all these buildings. He's been he dodged the war instead of being in it. Like, and now he's fucking president.
What are you trying to sell to me right now?
The remake of Forrest Gump, where it's just Donald Trump's story as written.
Yeah.
All we do is we get...
Donald Trump is sat on a bench.
That'd be great.
With a box of chocolates.
Just doing the doco and Donald Trump in a couple of years, and you get it voiced over by...
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but doing the Forrest Gump voice.
Yeah.
Then I became president.
Grabbed her by the pussy.
Pussy.
Send them back over that wall. Make America great again.
I'm trying to work in an Elon Musk as Lieutenant Dan situation, but my brain's not quite clicking him into place.
He's not in a wheelchair, he's in a rocket chair.
No. Well, he threw the car into space. No, I got nothing. I cannot put it together.
I thought I nailed it.
So I guess all we need... Fuck, I completely forgot what we were on before.
That's okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
I got to ask, though, because were you, obviously, apart from your dad making you speak well, I'm assuming you were part of the scum hovering around the girls' school? Economically?
I wasn't...
You weren't allowed to, but you should have been.
I went to a mixed school.
Yep.
I didn't need to. I was like another part of town.
I was satiated.
I was fine.
I was too lazy to travel.
I did used to do this one joke, and it's because it's entirely true. I just never worked out how to make it funny.
Oh, I got heaps of those, man.
Completely unbelievable. But I, for about 3 or 4 years, I lived in a caravan outside the front of my house while our house was being renovated.
Yep.
And here's me sat here going, no, we weren't that poor.
Hey, man, our house was renovated because it's the fucking tin flew off the top. So
yeah, okay, so that's
it all
pretty
counts.
Cool. No,
renovation doesn't necessarily
we just wanted
mean
more rooms. Nah, living in a caravan, I mean.
Oh.
Living in a caravan's pretty poor.
Well, we had for a while, because my dad put in a bungalow in our backyard because he had a big truck and he just took a piece of someone else's house when it was getting pulled down. Like, literally, he pulled a truck up, 3 of his mates with like chainsaws and shit, just cut this room out of the house.
Yeah.
Put it on the truck, and then they came around, put it on stumps, and just put that in the backyard. But for a while there, behind that was a caravan that we had because my dead shit brother moved back in. Like, he had to get back in. Like, we had to put him somewhere, and Mum's like, I'm not having him in the house. And I'm like, he's not in the bungalow with me. It's a single room. It barely fits the bed. I'm not dealing with him.
Right, okay. So, no, my family do love me.
No.
It was my choice. My older brother lived in it for like a stint, and I was like, I wouldn't mind having my own room.
That's the big thing is like, because this room I had 3 walls.
Yeah.
Like, it was a square, but one of them was just the plaster. There was no like boards on the outside. You could just see the electrical wires. So it's like whatever temperature it is outside, it's the same temperature inside. It's just like I'm basically sleeping outside with less wind. But it meant I wasn't in the house. I get my own room where I had a fucking lock on the door. And it's like because I got
your own space. It's important.
I got 3 other siblings, so it's like
I've got 4.
Yeah? What's the gender divide?
4 boys, 1 girl.
We got the 3 boys, 1 girl. And I feel like it's kind of a good combo, but as the third of 4, it's the worst.
She loves it.
Oh, of course she does.
My sister loves it.
Yeah.
She's got a bunch of
bulldogs
to look out for her,
Yeah. It's a bit, though, like, I often find, though, in those scenarios that it's like, yeah, they're fine. They've got, like, a bunch of big brothers. They feel safe. But half the time, the girl in that, like, sort of dynamic would just kick my ass on her own. I find often that girls that are raised with, like, 4 other brothers, it's like, especially if they're older, they've been kicking the shit out of you for years. So it's like, they'll do it to some random they don't care about in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah. When the caravan came around, I used to have, like, these girls over. They were just friends. I think I dated 2 of them at one point, but, like, it was, like...
at the time, it was a spot to hang out.
Yeah.
And also, like, as a kid...
my dad just, like, proudly watching me from the lounge room window, just filing 5 women into my
car. He's a Greek boy.
I told him not to drop those T's.
14 in his first orgy.
It's in it, not in it.
You're getting in it, aren't you?
Yes, we were. Nothing happened.
But even that, doesn't matter. Half of it's about what people think.
My nickname at school was Gypsy because of the caravan. And then when I joined the film industry, my first job
was fighting in the car park.
I was desperate for a job. But I didn't live in London at the time.
Yep.
So when I was asked, they were like, we're shooting in London. Do you live in London? I said, oh, yeah, in and around. Meaning I can stay at friends' houses.
Yeah.
But what they heard is, I'm a gypsy. And so when I joined film, my nickname was Gypsy as well.
That's a very quick assumption.
Always. I thought it was a weird assumption. But also, it is a problem on film sets.
Ah, really? Why is it a problem?
Because
they just crash at night. And
I don't think you're allowed to call them gypsies anymore, but travellers would.
You've said it about 4 times, so I think
they would raid the set.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Because they like a lot
of
these filming places like
on location.
They often film at like the same, like Top Gear. So that Top Gear place is called Dunsfold.
Yeah.
And Dunsfold, there's like travellers. Like there's like a little campsite nearby.
Right.
And they just sneak in.
They'll just raid the place
from the film set. Yeah.
For 3 weeks, they sold Jeremy Clarkson.
I think the ones near Dunsfold are better. I'm. But when I was working on a film set and like this big pickup truck drove in, and just started driving around trying to see if they could steal shit, and then drove out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm sure I've mentioned on here before, but there was when I went over and saw my mate in Taiwan, I met his British mate. And we're hanging out over there, and he's chatting, and he's like, people are asking if you're saying racist things over there because he's living in Taiwan. And he's like, why would you think I was racist? I've literally moved over here, started a family, I'm living in, like, how could you possibly think I was racist? 4 minutes later, at most, he's like, man, gypsies need to be thrown in a fucking fire. Just like... Straight up, he's like, "There's fucking scum, man. You can't fucking do anything." Just teeing off, and I'm like, man, what happened to? Yeah, we're all people.
Yeah.
It's just there's something about the gypsies that fucking some people just really twig on it, and I think it's just because over here we just go like, yeah, they wear scarves and stuff.
Yeah,
that's all we've got.
Well, the Romany gypsy, like they used to travel around Europe.
Yeah, that's it, and that's sort of what well, at least in Australia, that's what I think of is like, you know, they wear scarves. They got the caravans that are like still horseshoe shaped. Yeah, exactly. They're kicking around. They've got dogs. Yeah. And that's just sort of the extent of it.
Way of life.
Well, you just sort of assume, like...
We had a couple of kids in my school who lived on a caravan patch. I don't really know what they're called.
Patch? I think they would assume that they were growing them. Although, if you look at some of those caravans...
Pick the gypsies from the caravan patch.
Yeah, you do it around August when they're in season.
Yeah.
Get yourself a caravan.
Get yourself a gypsy.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. He'll steal for you. But yeah, it's just very fun to actually go like, people, they actually get up to shit enough for people to just hate them.
Yeah, they do. But at the same time, like...
There's a lot of assumption to it.
They're my people.
Yeah, exactly. There's
because
plenty of...
I lived in a caravan.
Yeah, well, yes.
For 3 years outside of my loving home.
See, now you've completely changed the image of it, though, because I was going from, like, you know, a caravan you take camping with your fucking mum and dad.
No, it is.
And now I'm picturing, like, a wooden... Like it's in Shrek, like a fucking arch-shaped.
Yeah.
Like you're going through the Old West, but you've decided to build it out of timber instead of like the weird sheet canvas thing.
That's what I would rather people think of.
Oh, completely.
But no,
then you seem like
it's
Mystic
entirely
and
like our very wholesome families.
Yeah,
caravan
regular
that we take on camping trips. Yeah.
Oh, that must be weird.
What?
If you've been living in it for that long and then you're taking on the camping trip and just look at it, you know, mum's she's sitting on the chair.
Going on a camping. Oh, that's so funny. Going on a camping trip in your 13-year-old son's room.
Yeah. Just looking around and it's just like, but like they're trying not to think about it, but all you can think about is that you've come there, you've come in the fridge, like it's.
And my mum's like, "Hey, look, I bought a blue light for a party."
Well, yeah. I think it's broken. You haven't looked at it yet. I got a hunch it won't work by this evening.
That's really funny. I'm gonna use that.
Feel free. It's like I had one that was a similar thing where I just hadn't put the story together that I was doing recently because I was telling Quanny about the job interview that I had for my latest job where I turned up and I'm like, yeah, everyone was like in black. They'd come from a funeral from some guy who'd been working at the company, and then just kept going. He's like, what do you mean? Was it like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that was the guy whose job I was going for, and just never thought about it beyond the fact of like, isn't that weird? They were all at a funeral, and then just and so point out, you're like, oh, actually, yeah, that's fucking bizarre. And here's me getting gags in, and like, and the weirdest bit was like who would have been my manager if I get the job. She's the only one who's like Skyped in or whatever to the call, like to the meeting. So she's just on a big projector on the wall, and then everyone else is just in the meeting in person. So I kept calling her Zordon because she just looks like a big fucking head in a tank just over the fucking top of the room. And I'm like, I've done it the first time. I'm like, man, if this doesn't land, I might as well just walk out because I'm just calling her a fucking big weird head in a jar. Crushed it.
Don't worry, I don't think anyone got the reference.
No, they did. It's an older IT crew, man. They
what am I talking about? Of course they got the reference.
They got that reference. They told me what episode it like it's a very the general chat in our Slack is something else.
Yeah, no, I imagine it would drive me insane. What are
your
notes, can I ask?
Oh, just bits of shit that I was having as my backup plan.
Oh, okay.
But I did want to do one at the start because I may use something with this or it may just be the fucking worst story. I had a fucking awful morning, right? Because I get up and I've been going to bed at like 4 a.m. I'm addicted to Marvel Rivals and I don't sleep in general. So it's just like...
There are quite a few comedians are at the moment.
Yeah. And like, problem is I start work at 7 every day. So I'll go to bed at like 4 and then my alarm's going off at 6:30. And it's gotten to the point now where I leave the blinds open to wake me up at that hour. But now, like, when the light hits me in the morning, I'm just like, I'm going to be sick. Like, you know, just that real nausea of getting pulled out of, like, REM sleep.
Mm.
And this morning, I got up, I'm like, it's one of those ones where you know you're not ill, like, you're not unwell, but your torso just gets warm. You know that one?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's like, your stomach and everything is just like, I feel really hot, and it's like, I'm gonna be sick now. And I'm like, I can fight through this. I'm like, I can swallow it down.
Yeah.
I haven't even ate anything this morning. This will be fucking easy. Made the worst decision, which was have a swig of fucking vanilla Coke that I had sitting nearby.
Oh, no.
And then I was doing the one where like I thought I caught it. I'm like, no, I got it. Like, and it's just like, I got that one too. These are gonna keep coming though. And like, I get to the bathroom, and it's the first time in a very long time that I didn't make it to the toilet, and just covered the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because I'm like in the lean motion to get the fucking toilet seat over, which is just like bleh, perfect arc.
Yeah.
And basically half my work this morning, like, because I work from home, I just sent a message in Slack to my boss. I'm like, I was feeling sick and I missed the toilet. I'll be back on in like 20 minutes. It's like I've at least got a good relationship with my manager. I'm like, I'll just tell him.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is what happened. I could take the day off sick.
Yeah.
Or you can give me 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, I respect that.
But
You're a trooper, mate. You're a trooper. That's a mess.
Yeah.
And the
problem was...
toilets aren't fun to clean for most of the time.
Well, my toilet's also in the bathroom upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, it's just toilet, shower, everything. So it's fucking towels. It's the worst. I just missed getting the worst one, which is the, like, spare toilet rolls. Yeah. Next to it.
Ooh,
just, like, copping that with a spew. Or, like, going in there in your own house and one of your drunk mates is just pissed onto your spare toilet rolls.
Yeah.
And you're like, well... He's pissed on one side, but that's fucked every roll that's in there.
I have a similar story. But
yeah, go on.
I was at my I was in London. I was at my girlfriend's house at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
what was her caravan like?
She lived in one of those very classic London houses where it was like 4 stories, but thin.
Yep.
Like a thin house conjoined in
and
a
weirdly,
row of
and
brick
weirdly
houses.
ornate at the top.
Really ornate?
Yeah. You know, it's like it's all slim, plain building, and then at the top they'll do like a little flourish of something. You know, like a metal greatwork. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. So London house, 4 stories. Her bedroom was at the top, and there are 3 toilets. Mm-hmm. There's her ensuite. Mm-hmm. There's one on the second floor, and there's one next to the kitchen. A little dunny next to the kitchen.
Yep.
We had some Dominoes, and I'd got food poisoning, and I was not feeling very well, but she was having a shower. And so I was banging on the door going, get out, I need to go. And she was like, what? And because I was like screaming and banging on the door, it just stunned her. And I was like, okay, fuck this, I'm not going to get anywhere here. Mm-hmm. Ran down to the next toilet, her brother's in there, fuck.
Yep. Plan C.
Going to shit myself. Mm-hmm. Ran down to the little dunny next to the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Ran in, closed the door, locked the door, sat down, just made it.
Fucking destroyed that porcelain.
Forgot to lift the lid.
How? How the fuck do you do that?
I just hoped that it was already open. And it just went boom, and it painted the walls
like one of those fucking
between waves. When I was like managed to get like a breather, I was like, well, I'm not gonna do the second wave in the same way. I better lift the lid, and then actually shit in the toilet. But now I've got like shit, going down the back of the toilet.
Oh,
and I was in there for an hour cleaning up.
Yeah,
in a really small bathroom.
And you can't go out to get additional cleaning products or anything.
No. You're just like...
the roll that's there and the spray on the back of the toilet.
Yeah. Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
Man, you've just completely ruined my argument about the toilet seat up or down thing.
Yeah.
Because my argument of that, where people go like, men or women, who should put the seat down? It's like, you both should put the lid down. That's the answer. Because otherwise, if you flush a toilet, it's just dumping a bucket of water into piss, and that's just throwing up in the air. I'm a hygiene man. This is how it works.
When the toilet flushes, you think the water's jumping out of your toilet?
Yeah.
That's not how...
Okay, when you're flushing, like, water is just dropping into the bowl from the cistern. That's going to create splash, which means you got mist and shit coming out.
But your toilet shouldn't be...
Oh, yeah, mine, like...
Yours is fucking... You've got water...
My cistern is, like, 15 feet up. And it just fires that thing down at terminal velocity.
All right, fair enough.
It's like a bidet, but for your whole body.
Yeah,
It just fucking comes geysering out at you.
Sure, okay.
If you don't have the
Yeah.
if you don't have the shower.
Needless to say, you're not flushing the toilet.
Oh no, I
while
close the
you're still
lid
on
and
it.
then everything's fine. And sit on it and hold fucking for dear life. just rattle around.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just always been a like hygiene thing and like that. I'm like, yeah, you put the lid down when you're done before
Yeah,
you
but
flush
when
the
the
toilet.
lid's down and someone's in an emergency situation,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna shit on your lid.
It was just never a factor I took into my calculations.
Yeah.
Because that was my thing. I'm like, you know, women will argue. It's like you sit down. And it's like, oh well, I could just like fall in or bust my ass on the porcelain. It's like, look, I don't understand how you can't look at a toilet before you sit on it. Do you just sit down without looking at a chair? And it's like apparently people do. Apparently people didn't have terrible friends that are just going to whip any piece of furniture out from underneath you as you try. Have you ever like they're just getting your chair whipped out from underneath you, right? You go to sit down, someone's just fucking pulled it out.
Yeah.
I've had a mate do that to me with a couch.
With a couch?
Yeah, I'm going to sit down on a couch, and he's like standing right at the edge. I go to sit down, he just kicks it forward and just fucking hit the deck. And then because the couch is there, like you fall down and you just smack your head immediately back on the couch.
That's so funny.
That's the problem. You look at that and you go, fucking, that's well played, isn't it? Like, my head hurts and there's not much I can do here. I'm embarrassed, but...
When you're embarrassed, but it was funny, but you're in pain. That's
it's a good loop, but like ultimately you got to take it on the chin or you become sook boy.
Yeah.
It's always uncreative when it's something like that. It's just like, oh, you sad boy. Like, that's all you need because 6 other blokes are just going to
bro, it was really funny.
Yeah, and then 6 other because even if you put up it means there's 6 blokes around that just go, sad boy, sad, and it's just like you got to cop it or you're going to keep copping it. It's just how you do it.
Because if you stay sad, they'll start calling you gay.
Oh, yeah. But the trick, I get them with that. Later on, I just became gay. Fuck yeah, man. Especially now, because like apparently I was like seeing in these trends people are doing, it's like the word faggot's back on the rise. And it's like, yeah, man, I was saying it enough first wave. This time I'm allowed. Get ready.
It's back, baby.
Yeah. And I'll call you a retard just because. That one's still not bad.
Yeah.
If
like a lot of these words, they're coming back.
Man, if neurodivergent counts, I'll have both fucking graphs just fucking spiraling through the top.
Neurodivergent isn't really an insult yet, but it could be.
No, I mean, if that counts as retarded.
No.
If it does, if I'm allowed to reclaim there.
Yeah. Well, then all comedians are fine.
Man, I am invincible now.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody stopping me.
You're killing it.
Because that's what we know.
There was a comedian the other day, I won't say who, but it was really funny because they didn't want to say, it was a packed crowd and they were like kind of like bullying an audience member. It was a bit, all in jest, it's a bit fun. Didn't want to call him retarded, so called him disabled. And it was like, you used the politically correct term and made it sound so much worse. Yeah,
you're actually doing the thing that people are worried about these words doing. It's like,
what
way
are
to
you,
go,
disabled? Man. that was the word that was okay.
Well,
that's what happens when you don't use
I
insult words, but you use the correct terms. It's like
it's worse because then you're talking about the actual people.
Yeah. And
Whereas
when people say retarded, they're not thinking about actual.
No, they're talking about
with
you because
problems.
you seem like you were a person and then you hit yourself with a fucking ballpoint hammer. That's what they're thinking of when you say a retard.
Yeah.
Someone who is such a fuckwit, they've become dumb.
Yeah.
That's literally just not a person with actually anything wrong. But I was doing a thing where, because it's true, but it doesn't really work on stage because people sort of reel. And me just pointing out that these days you get the word neurodivergent, but like back when I was a kid, you were just called a spastic by teachers, by fucking parents. Like, it was just a thing, like, he's a little spastic, that one. Like, he's always running around. But it's just used, like, as a word.
And then autistic became fun, and they were like, what are you, autistic? And
yeah, Asperger's had its run for a little bit there. Especially when it became not a word anymore. People are like, well, that just means it's a fucking tee off.
Yeah.
It's just, let's just go.
So you're not allowed to use the word Asperger's anymore?
Only because it doesn't exist. I think it was, like, Asperger's.
a Nazi doctor.
Yeah, that was the dude, like, it came off. But in terms of it existing as a condition, it, I think, was determined to just be somewhere along the spectrum of, like, autism and ADHD kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's like, it's not its own thing. It's just sort of a setting on the other two bars.
Yeah. Okay, so I was diagnosed with Asperger's as a kid, and then when
I'm saying you don't exist.
And when they took that word away from me, and they were lumping me with the other kids.
Yep. Well, you want to?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The problem with the word
because I wasn't autistic, I had Asperger's, which means I'm not that.
You're
weird.
half human.
I'm half human, and now
Yeah.
you're lumping me with all the not humans. But guys, I'm like Demi. I'm kind of with
You're
you.
Daywalker.
I'm not with you guys fully, but I'm not with them fully. But like, you know, you can treat me like I'm a little bit different. But now you're just putting me in that category.
Yeah, and I've got to deal with the arsonists and shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's always fun being the kid on the line, where you're like, oh, look at those fucking idiots down there. And all these cunts who think they're better than me. Like, you're just right in the middle to hate everyone.
Yeah.
And for them to have the option to hate you, but then you really hate them.
Yeah. You hate them, but when they bully you, you got nothing.
I've always got something. It just depends whether or not you want to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, true.
It's like there was plenty of things.
Kids try to fight me at school, and I was just autistic enough to. What I'd do is I'd swing my ass out towards them, and I'd start backing into them.
Oh, that's
they'd
a
be
good
like
move.
swinging for me, and I'd be like backing my ass into them. Oh, don't fuck me.
Oh, see, I thought you meant just like going for a rebound in basketball, just boxing out.
No, just make it look like sexual assault.
Oh, of course.
They're like swinging for the back of your head, and you're just grinding on them. It works every time.
See, I was more of an idiot where I'd constantly be getting into fights and losing them. Like, I was in heaps of fights at school.
Oh, were you?
But I'd
Did
always...
you go to a rough school?
No, we went to it was kind of weird because it was the Catholic school, but it wasn't private school.
Yeah.
So we were the Catholic school, then there was Gen Pop, like the regular fucking school. But it was weird because, like, if someone got expelled from that school, they would come to ours because it's the next school. Their parents just had to pay more. So I'm like, what actually makes us different? Like, it's the same crew. It's all the same fuckwits from Benalla. And especially our age, because we were at the exact age to be teenagers at their dumbest when Jackass came out. Like, particularly Jackass the movie. And we just started getting cameras. So it's we're going to fucking just kill each other for fun. And, like, first wave of that getting in. So it was just like, didn't matter which school you went to. Those were the people you were dealing with. So basically the way I described it to people is like the only difference between our two schools was that our stabbings weren't fatal. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Like we used to have...
that's Australian as fuck.
Yeah. We used to have just like brawls in the lockers with the year 9s versus the year 10s. Mostly because there was this one dude called Snowy that we didn't like. His name was Snowy. He had his head up his own ass, but he was like albino, like stark white hair.
Fuck's sake.
And he had his head up his own ass, and we were like, fuck you, Snowy. And just like every lunch, someone just knocks him into a locker, he'd go, then it would just be on. Just mostly for fun.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of school
you were
we're at.
beating up an albino kid.
No.
Fun.
Like that would be the instigation. Right. And then all year 9s versus all year 10s.
Just a big brawl would...
But the best one was when they bring us all into like a big meeting. They sit us down like, this is not acceptable, boys. We cannot keep having this. The whole meeting goes for like half an hour. Then on the way out, Snowy and another dude from our year tried to walk through the door at the same time. He just nudges Snowy into the door frame and just fucking kicks off in the doorway. But it was, to us, it was more like, you know, playing British Bulldog or something at lunch. It was more about just fucking around, slamming into each other.
Scare the shit out of Snowy.
Well, we had...
he's white as a ghost.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We never knew when he was scared. For a few years, we thought he died, and he was just haunting the place. But, like, we had a game for a while that kicked off once Cops, like the TV show Cops, was airing in Australia. And it was basically, you'd be talking to someone, and they'd just be like, oh, fuck off, man. You know, just give, like, a bit of attitude back and just go, I'm sorry, are you resisting? And it's like, no, fucking don't be... I'm sorry, sir. Are you resisting arrest? And it's just like, man, fuck off. And then you just like pull out a fake radio or something, just like, he's resisting arrest, come here. And then he'll just chase you. And you're like, fuck, and you've got to go. And then as other people are running around, sometimes people do sirens. So you're just getting chased around the school by somebody going, you're just chasing around. But then like backup would come, which is just anybody else who sees that it's happening.
Yeah.
And so eventually you get out on the oval, you get cornered, and then you just get dogpiled by about 12 dudes. Just punching you, telling you to stop resisting arrest. And eventually you get pinned to the ground, and then we just stop.
Sounds like you went to a rough school. You're just not aware.
Yeah, it's like child abuse. I haven't experienced anything else.
Yeah. And then my dad would just like beat the shit out of me. Only if he was drunk. If he was drunk.
You guys know Thursdays, yeah.
Because he loved me.
That's why he worked so hard and then didn't come home after work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should wrap soon, man.
We should. Got la.
Do you have anything you want to plug, man?
No. I'm moving to England.
Yes, I remember that. I was surprised that you were... I thought that was going to be earlier. Glad we nabbed you on the way out.
Yes, indeed.
How soon is that? Next couple months or something?
In like 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Much more... Like, weirdly, that's a balance of in between, because I thought it was much earlier, and now, because you're still here, I assumed it was like next year.
No, so I'm moving to the UK.
Back home or back to London? Or
moving to Manchester.
Ah.
And I'm just
Do
gonna
you
get
support
stuck.
either of those teams?
No, I don't.
Good.
Gonna get involved in the open mic scene there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing to plug, but
You got an Instagram or something?
yes,
Plug that.
Tom Stanimeros.
All you have to do is know how to spell words.
And maybe I'll do a show next year. Who knows?
Stanimeros.
Mm.
Stanimeros. Just practice it before the end. In fact, at the end, I don't even say your name because you just said it. Well, thanks for coming on, man. This is a handshake. Fuck you, now you said it. Tom Stanimeros. Oh.
Tom Stanimeros.
Stanimeros. Fuck it. I finished it. You heard me finish the whole name. But yeah, thanks very much for coming on, man. Glad we got you before you fucked off. But yeah, check it out, the social medias. Get us any gigs. I got a few randoms that live over there. So you might see one person.
Yeah, one
who's like, hey man, I know Webby. And you're like, get away from me.
This is an open mic. Like, what are you doing?
Don't talk to me. I have notes to read in the front row. Anyway, man, let's go do some gigs.
Let's do it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.